So this is Apple's latest flagship right now, along with the iPhone 6 Plus, but this definitely seems to be the preferred size. How is this held up about 6 months later with Samsung and HTC rolling out their new flagships? Find out in this 6 month later review of the iPhone 6. So starting off with the design, what can we expect from Apple? You always know that they're going to be bringing some awesome high quality look and feel to their phones like they always have. Apple is set to be the first $1 trillion company, and there is a reason why. Their phones just feel great in the hand and just looks really nice. There are a lot of different opinions on how the bands look on the iPhone, but to me, it looks just fine. Also, a major problem to people was that the device is very slippery, but that is nothing a skin or a case can't fix. This iPhone is a couple months old and has held up pretty well. Haven't had a case on it, but still the phone looks new. So build quality seems to be very good so far, and I have not had any problems whatsoever, and no, it has not bent at all. Another big thing to talk about is just how thin this phone is. At about 6.9 millimeters thin, the iPhone 6 is still one of the thinnest phones on the market 6 months after its release. It makes the phone look very sleek and appealing, and since it's so thin, it is also very light. The phone is also supporting a 4.7-inch IPS display with a resolution of 1334 by 750 and a PPI of 326. This display on paper may seem like a pretty average display, but Apple is notorious for always having great displays with low resolutions. You could get a great viewing angles and vibrant colors, and it can fool me for a 1080p phone, but the display on the iPhone 6 is definitely not the best display out there, especially with all these Quad HD phones coming out. A big design flaw by Apple is that protruding camera on the back of the iPhone 6. It looks bad and makes the phone wobble when you put it on a flat surface, so you're going to need a case to fix this problem, which is a shame because this is a really good looking phone. So most of you already know the specs, but to briefly go over them, the iPhone 6 is packing a 1.4 GHz dual-core processor with the A8 chipset, as well as only 1 GB of RAM. Again, the phone specs are nothing compared to today's other flagships, but the iPhone 6 does impress me with its performance. iOS is just so well integrated for this device that the software doesn't need beastly specs for it to run well, and kudos to Apple for that. It's amazing how fluid navigating the device is and how well apps and games work for the device. A big complaint was that apps were still not being updated to match the resolution of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, but 6 months later that is now not the case and it looks great. All apps and games are now tailor-made for the iPhone 6, and you can be sure that they will run well and smooth because developers make sure that they do. Coming from Android, it is a big difference not being able to have full control of your device, but still the simplicity of iOS is what really impresses me. I can see why so many people like the software of this phone. It's just simple and it works well. 6 months later, Apple has rolled out a couple of updates to continue to improve on what they did in iOS 8, and I have yet to be disappointed. Another reason why iPhones are so popular is because of the cameras. They seem to always have the best front and rear cameras on the market. They may not have the highest megapixel count, but the sheer performance of the camera can pretty much outshine any other camera on the market right now. A big reason for that is that iPhones have amazing image processing. Once you click that button, it instantly snaps and processes that picture with little to no delay. Really great for taking pictures on the fly. This is a big thing that Android companies have to work on because the iPhone 6 literally dominates with its camera. It can only record 1080p video, but it is still very high quality and does pretty good in any situation. The slow-mo feature is also pretty popular among users, and now the camera is able to capture 720p video at 240 FPS, which allows you to create some really cool shots. But enough with the camera, since you probably already know all of its capabilities by now. So the battery life of the iPhone 6 may be one of the weaker points of the phone, considering the fact that it only has a 1810 mAh battery. As usual, it is also non-removable, so you won't be able to replace a battery, but still you should be able to get a full day with moderate usage. Anyways, thanks for watching this 6 month later review of the iPhone 6. If you liked the video, please make sure to hit that like button as well as subscribe.